The Paloma Foundation was born out of a diagnosis I received 30 years ago, when I first learned I had AIDS. I was about to turn 20. I was very young. I became the AIDS woman, because my husband had full-blown AIDS and I took care of him until he died. People would leave the church bench empty because they knew I had HIV and believed that they would catch the virus from sitting next to me. Nobody gave me a job for 20 years. So, as a result of all of this, the Paloma Foundation was born. I said to myself, you have to create an institution to fight for the rights of HIV-positive people, because I want to live, I want to work. People living with HIV are denied the right to work, and the right to other things that they should not lose simply because they have HIV. We started out with a plot of land where we planted fruits and vegetables to support families impacted by HIV. These vegetable patches would hopefully allow Paloma to be self-sustainable, and also enable families affected by HIV to grow food for themselves and to sell to others at the organic agricultural market. The process begun through the Sea Change Initiative has been wonderful. We are like sponges, absorbing all the trainings and mentoring we have received. We have applied all this knowledge to our project to make it more successful. Sea Change has put technicians at our disposal, through Zoom calls, through site visits in the field, accompanying us at each step of the way, analyzing each process. For us it has been invaluable to have Sea Change support us at each turn, and provide seed funding to get us through this important first stage. That we can benefit people who have nothing to eat, people who have been forgotten. This project is about making people important, people who nobody cares about, people who are often left out. These same people are the important ones in our project.
At Sea Change we support initiatives like the one we just watched. Our mission as Sea Change is to support these community-based organizations so that they can develop social entrepreneurship projects that allow them to address the issues facing vulnerable groups that society has passed by. Perhaps the most important challenge is to instill in these community-based organizations a different mentality or mindset. The area of entrepreneurship requires us to change the way we think about resource generation in order to make our organizations sustainable. At CVC, we are fully convinced that just as traditional companies generate resources, community-based organizations can also develop successful resource generation initiatives, and we are going to see some examples now. The enterprise that we are starting up is called Quisqueya Kitchen. Our idea involves transforming an existing space that the organization currently operates as a vocational school in Las Cuas next to Esperanza. Here we currently train young people and women in the technical aspects of cooking and confectionery. We propose to transform this underused kitchen, optimizing its use for migrant women, to improve their employability, serve them as a means of socio-economic empowerment, and help them to achieve their dreams. For us, the greatest accomplishments coming from the training and mentoring of the Sea Change Initiative can be seen at two levels, with the population of migrant women themselves, who are learning how to manage their small businesses and make them sustainable, and at the level of our organization, building our staff's knowledge and skills, so that we can better accompany and manage social enterprise initiatives. If I had the opportunity to talk about Sea Change, I would say that it has been an innovative way for us to learn about entrepreneurship, sustainable business models, and their ability to achieve social impact. It has been an extremely effective way of imparting training, providing support and mentoring to promote social entrepreneurship. Clean Cool is a company that manufactures cleaning, personal hygiene and beauty products. Our organization works with people living with HIV. This is something that is close to our heart. It runs through our veins. We exist first and foremost to empower young people living with HIV to claim their rights. Secondly, we bet on entrepreneurship, because each person has the capacity and the right to develop a business and enjoy a decent life. We can live with dignity only when we are financially stable. At Clean Cool we have changed the lives of more than 167 families affected by HIV, and it's important that we see ourselves as a family. We heard about Sea Change through a call that came out. The most important thing for us has been the follow-up, that mentoring that Sea Change has given us. We are infinitely thankful for this support, for not being left unprotected, for always having our backs. We are grateful for the continuous involvement. Thanks to Sea Change, we now have the tools that we need, that we didn't have before. I am Project Coordinator at Proactividad. Our initiative is called LGBTQ Planet. This is a platform that seeks to function as a global directory to bring together businesses and users from the LGBTQ community. We selected this project because there are many businesses that are already open to the LGBTQ community, and want to provide a safe and reliable service to LGBTQ tourists. Businesses that cater to you, that respect your orientation, your sexual identity. We learned about the initiative through the CVC's platform. What can I say about Sea Change? Well, it has been like an angel. Just what we needed to give us a little push by saying, well look, we're going to offer you this help to support the growth of your platform, but we will also prepare you for all that this entails. Sea Change really seeks the growth of community-based organizations with no strings attached, supporting them in fulfilling their aspirations. What are my expectations for the next phase? That LGBTQ Planet will contribute to bring the global LGBTQ community a little bit closer. In the Caribbean, we are supporting over 20 social enterprise initiatives that will impact the lives of thousands of people throughout the region. We are supporting organizations with training, technical assistance, and also with seed funding so that they can develop these initiatives. The capacity building includes things like the development of business plans, sales projections, determination of financial costs, everything that has to do with the entrepreneurial ecosystem. We cover the skills individuals need to make them successful entrepreneurs. Here we will hear firsthand what this experience has been like for them and how Sea Change has impacted their initiatives and their work. I am a member of the Active Club 20 to 30 of Santo Domingo Incorporated, and our entrepreneurial initiative is the creation of a performing arts school for children with limited resources of Santo Domingo. The biggest challenge for our organization in developing this initiative has been transforming ourselves from a donor-dependent organization into an entity able to generate its own funds for the sustainability of both this project, as well as for our organization as a whole. I want to be able to impact the lives of children, even save their lives, and show that it is possible to change the lives of impoverished street children. We learned about Sea Change through Instagram. Sea Change has taught me about accepting the diversity of thought, the diversity of gender, as a reality. If I had to tell my friends about Sea Change, I would tell them that it is like a network of highly trained people who help create business ideas and support business ventures that have social impact.
Our project is about internships for development. The idea involves creating a system that links young people and women entering the workforce for the first time, who are often unfamiliar with the needs and demands of the job market, to better prepare them for entering the world of work. By exposing these entry-level technical and professional people to the small and medium-sized business sector through a formal internship program, we hope to create opportunities for them to secure future work. We found out about Sea Change through a pop-up that appeared on our computers and subsequently learned more about the project they were running. For me, the definition of Sea Change is a group of young innovators, visionaries who have really challenged us all. For me, it has been a great surprise to find a team of young, very dynamic, and incredibly committed individuals that have pinched me into action. If I had to speak to other groups about the work Sea Change does, I would say prepare yourself, get ready to be challenged. You will be made to sweat a lot, to work and think incredibly hard. So, I invite you to take up the Sea Change challenge.
I am Daniel Benitez. I am the Executive Director of the Network of Friends Always Friends, known by the acronym REVASA in Spanish. The organization works for the LGBTQ community of the Dominican Republic. Our social enterprise initiative is intended as a multimedia venture targeting both the LGBTQ community and business owners that target our community. It permits the latter to reach the community through advertising, as well as enabling them to sell their products and services. Before the Sea Change Incubator, when we had an idea for generating income, we would ask ourselves, will it work, or will it flop? Now, with all the tools we have learned about, and all the exercises and documents we have prepared, what has changed is that the idea is no longer an idea, it is now much closer to being a reality. The principal achievement for us, I think, has been the evolution of our original idea from a traditional printed magazine to an integrated multimedia communication system. If I had to recommend Sea Change to another organization, I would say it will challenge you greatly to change your mindset. Many of us feel comfortable receiving donor funds and are scared to take the leap into the unknown. So, I think that if this initiative was available to all community groups, it could result in a monumental change. Our organizations would go from receiving bread from donors to making bread for ourselves. Passion for action is what brings about change. As a coalition, CVC has been concerned about the issue of sustainability of our members' organizations for some time. Over the years, we have seen a great reduction in the availability of funding for many of the organizations that make up CVC. Traditional donors like to speak about social contracting as a solution, but social contracting implies that the state covers the funding for NGOs' activities and services. However, when it comes to working in the critical area of human rights, which often involves criticizing public policies and laws, the state is not the ideal partner. So we really see the ability to generate revenue through a social enterprise venture as a potential way for NGOs to obtain a degree of autonomy and self-sustainability. Asapropimaplu is a group of young members and individuals prepared to invest in growing, marketing and selling pineapples both in the domestic and international markets. I am David Camejo. I currently run the Pineapples Against Poverty project, which seeks to reduce poverty, build the skills of marginalized rural youth, empower them, teach them good practices in the agricultural sector and mentor them so that they can exit cycles of poverty and marginalization. We invest in pineapples. Why? Well, let's start with the country we live in. We live in the tropics and the climate is excellent for growing pineapples. From the returns we can make on this, we generate income that we then reinvest in proactive projects, such as poverty reduction amongst marginalized youth in rural areas. We learned about the Sea Change initiative through a call launched on CVC's website. What motivated us to apply was the technical assistance and seed funding available to help us develop our sustainability model. That's simple. I invite other organizations to be part of the initiative because it pushes you to continue learning and perfecting your ultimate goal of achieving sustainability.
Our social enterprise venture is about a store that bridges between local producers and artisans and the work that we do with orphaned children and adolescents. We have a venue in the heart of Colonial City which is accessed by many tourists, and where there is a flow of people who love consuming local organic natural products. The truth is that the Sea Changes training program has been very enriching. It has taught us to understand that we do not need to wait with outstretched arms for help. We also have other means at our disposal such as negotiation. This is about how I can offer you something in exchange for something else. After these mentoring sessions, I feel much more confident in my abilities to negotiate what I want for the children and adolescents our organization assists.
I am from the Dominican Republic. I am the programs and financial manager of an organization called Proactivity for Cooperation and Social Development. Our work has required us increasingly to become more self-reliant and financially autonomous over the years. We established a travel agency, A2Z Tours and Travel, that grew out of this context. Being on an island that heavily depends on tourism, this made sense. We work with LGBTQ youth, many from rural areas and from communities where they face considerable marginalization and discrimination. Our travel agency is very diverse. We do not only specialize in LGBTQ tourism, we also sell packages of community-based tourism that seeks to promote an alternative and more authentic tourism from the all-inclusive resorts the Dominican Republic is renowned for. If I had to tell someone about Sea Change, I would encourage them to take advantage of the training and tools they offer. At first these can appear tedious and very demanding, but later you will find them really useful and helpful, especially for generating resources to sustain the work our organizations do on a daily basis. Sea Change in English is a play on words, because sea spelt out SE sounds the same as when spelt SEE, so in English it has the connotation of seeing change, and that is something we want to achieve with this initiative. I think it takes a lot of effort and a lot of courage for an NGO to turn to social entrepreneurship as a means of generating income. I really have a lot of admiration for the organizations that have joined us to try and achieve this. I am extremely proud of all those entities that have worked to formulate their ideas, turn them into business plans, and now have real prospects of turning their venture into an income-generating business. People committed to social change often have a lot of passion for the work that they do, and this will hopefully serve them well as they work towards their goal of becoming more sustainable. Never underestimate what a passionate and committed group of individuals can achieve together.
I am the treasurer within our foundation. We have a program that integrates 3 health axes: financial, sexual and reproductive, and psychological health. Through counseling and consultations, we are able to provide our beneficiaries with the appropriate and comprehensive care each deserves. In this way, no one feels that they are being discriminated against, be it by gender, by a socio-economic or psychological condition. We found out about Sea Change through social media. I would define Sea Change as a beautiful opportunity to reach communities that are not visible, accessible and are underserved. Our biggest change involved a 360-degree revolution. We arrived with an idea but were clueless about how to make this into a single program. A message to the Sea Change team: what a fine mess you got us into. Having mentors that we could reach with such ease of accessibility greatly favored the process, so, truly thank you.